Welcome to the 113th birthday celebration for William Saroyan, brought to you by Forever Saroyan and produced by our archivist, Chris Garcia. I'm archivist Dory Meyer. Today, we are proud to present Ben by William Saroyan. Ben first appeared in The Gay and Melancholy Flux, published by Faber and Faber in 1937. It's read by Derek McCaw.
Ben. Here is wisdom. Let him who hath intelligence compute the number of the beast. It is the number of a man. It is 600, and then 66 more. They said to me yesterday, "Do you believe in the Word?" And I said, "Yes. In the unwritten Word I believe, the one of unlanguage, which is the first and the last and the only Word, one and many, 666. And they said, "Do you believe?" And I said, "Yes, in one I believe, allness, the whole place, all living and dead, all remembered and forgotten, all who are and are to be, all who were and were not, all I believe." And they said, "In God do you believe?" And I said, "Yes, 666, now one, myself, I believe." "In life," they said, "do you believe?" And I said, "Yes. In the street where once was the desert, in the tree where once was no leaf and no shade, in the river where once was no grace and no coolness, in the house where once was no mortal shape, in laughter, I believe." And in the soul, they said, "Do you believe?" And I said, "Yes. In the shadow of the flesh, in the multitudinous reflection of my face, I believe." It was myself, they who asked, and myself who answered. And it was in the street, in the city of my life, and we were many, 666, a multitude, myself alone among the multitude of myself. And suddenly the 665 shouted, "Do you love life? Do you love it?" And I said, "Yes, all moments of it, those of pain as much as those of joy, those of beauty and those of ugliness, the moments of grace as much as the moments of gracelessness, allness I love." Came the germ, cocky with mightiness, male, arrogant, laughing, tipping his hat to the emptiness. "Good morning, Ben," he said. "I will see you in a quarter of a century." "Good morning," I said, and I saw him spring like a wrestler upon the loveliest of his opposites, embracing her with the ferocity of God, kissing the universe, driving away from him all emptiness, drawing into himself all form and grace and energy, absorbing her, laughing with madness of joy, turning to me to shout, "In a quarter of a century, Ben." I saw him die laughing. "I will see you in a quarter of a century." "Goodbye," I said. Came the fish, graceful as the glance of God, swimming in quietness, precise with limpid poise, small but vast, silent but eloquent, solid, swifter than thought. "Good morning, Ben," he said. "I will look upon your face in another moment, 25 years from now. I will see myself in the pool of your eye, in a sudden gesture of your arm, in 1,000 movements of your head." "Good morning," I said. I saw him die, darting to the form of his fuller growth, saying, "Remember this grace of yourself in a moment." "Goodbye," I said. Came the reptile, from brook to valley, from fluid to earth, his whole substance smiling with shape and color of the earth, leaf and boulder, sun and air. "Good morning, Ben," he said. "In a quarter of a century, when you walk, this shape will move to your rhythm." "Good morning," I said. I saw him die, burying himself in the warm earth, saying to me wordlessly, "This is it, this, the earth, this godly substance, our life and our death, all of it. Goodbye, Ben." "Goodbye," I said. Came the rodent, Eyes, seeing, ears, hearing, nerves, feeling, nose, smelling, legs, running, small, whole, vital, fearful, secretive, humble, awed by the largeness of the valley, confused by the beauty of leaf and brook. "Good morning, Ben," he said. "In a moment when you sit alone in some small room, I will sit with you, of your loneliness, of your humility, of the quietness of the earth, of your fear, of your adoration of leaf and pebble, stream and sun." "Good morning," I said. I saw him die, scrambling with fear into the earth, then springing to the wings of the flying things. "Goodbye, Ben." "Goodbye," I said. Came the bird, diving geometrically through space, mad with precision, angry with song, lean, lithe, powerful with subtle power. "Good morning, Ben," he said. "In a quarter of a century I will spring into your thought, lifting it high, driving it direct, suspending it, gracing it." "Good morning," I said. I saw him die, falling, wings fluttering with death. "Goodbye, Ben." "Goodbye," I said. Came the cat, panther, lion, tiger, leopard, strong, savage, walking quietly through the jungle, head proud, body tense, blood hot, lungs loud with roar. "Good morning, Ben," he said. "In a moment when the gnats anger you, we shall roar together." "Good morning," I said. Came the ox and the horse, came the elephant and the camel and the buffalo, all the beasts, each of itself, alive, breathing, of God, 666. Then, standing on its hind legs, long arms dangling, idiot head grinning, came the gorilla. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came fire, came talk, tenderness, compassion, pity, came mortal anger. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came one, then another, the family. Came the cave, a mortal place. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came the tribe, many. Came the nation. Came the street and the structure. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came king and slave. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came war and hate and ungodly death. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came madness and lust. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came fear and rage, came coin and rule. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came God, out of all, out of each and out of emptiness of every grace. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came the city, came the ship, came the word, God again, mightier than ever. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came the dream, came remembrance. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came the everlasting morning, myself beginning. Came Athens, came India, came the fall of Troy, came Solomon in the temple of Jerusalem. Assyria came, Nineveh fell, came Buddha, came Cyrus, Confucius came the Republic of Rome, came the Battle of Marathon, came the Persians into Greece, the defense of Thermopylae, Xerxes, Pericles in Athens. Myself beginning. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came Socrates, came the burning of Rome, came the invasion of China by Tartars, came Alexander into Tyre, came the Battle of Arbela, came the war between Greeks and Romans, came Scipio Africanus to Carthage, crushing Hannibal, came Caesar into Gaul, came the Romans into Britain. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Came the Lady Cleopatra, came the assassination of Julius Caesar, came the death of Antony and Cleopatra. "Goodbye, Ben." "Goodbye," I said. Came Jesus, came the crucifixion. "Goodbye, Ben." "Goodbye," I said. Came the second burning of Rome, came Nero persecuting Christians, came the great Jewish revolt, came the destruction of Pompeii, came the martyrdom of Polycarp, his epistle to the Philippians, came the persecution of Christians in Gaul, myself beginning. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the beginning of Rome's decline. Constantinople came. Came the western migration of the Huns. Came the English conquest of Britain. Came Attila into Western Europe. The Battle of Chalons. Came Venice. Came Clovis and the kingdom of the Franks. Came Augustine. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Mahomet came. Came the Koran. Came the Saracens into Syria. Came the Saracens into Egypt. Came the Saracens into Spain. Came the Battle of Tours. Came Charlemagne. Came King Egbert. Good morning, Ben, they said. Good morning, I said. Came Alfred the Great. Came Vladimir the Great. Came Leif Erikson to the American shore. Good morning, Ben, in a moment now. Good morning, I said. Came King Canute. Came the popes. Came the decline of the Moorish power in Spain. Came the First Crusade. Came Arnold of Brescia. Came Saint Bernard and the Second Crusade. Came the decline of the Byzantine Empire. Came Thomas Becket. Came his assassination. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. Came Saladin into Jerusalem. Came the Third Crusade. Came the Teutonic Knights. Came Genghis Khan and the Empire of Mongols. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the Tartars into Russia. Came Alexander Nevsky. Came the Mamelukes. Came the House of Commons. Came the Last Crusade. Came the House of Habsburg. Came Edward into Wales. Came the victory of the Japanese over the Tartars. Came the Sicilian Vespers. Came the expulsion of Jews from England. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. Came Wallace into Scotland. Came the first great jubilee of the Roman Catholic Church. Came Dante and the Divina Commedia. Came the Swiss struggle for freedom. Came the Battle of Bannockburn. Came the battles of Sluis and Crécy. Came Rienzi's revolution in Rome. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the Renaissance. Came the Black Death. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. Came the Turks into Gallipoli. Came the death of Marino Falieri. Came the insurrection of the Jacquerie in France. Came Timur the Tartar. Came the dancing mania. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. You do well to dance. Came the rebellion of Wat Tyler. Came Wycliffe and the translation of the Bible into English. Came Swiss independence. Came the union of Denmark and Sweden and Norway. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the beginning of Negro slave trade. Came the trial and burning of John Huss. Came the house of Hohenzollern. Came the English conquest of France. Came Jeanne d'Arc. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came death to Jeanne d'Arc. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. Print came. Came the repulsion of the Turks by John Hunyadi. Came Ivan the Great. Came death to Charles the Bold. Came the Inquisition into Spain. Came the conquest of Granada. Came Columbus to America. Good morning, Ben. In a moment now. Good morning, I said. Came the conspiracy and rebellion and execution of Perkin Warbeck. Came death to Savonarola. Came the Cabots to the North Mainland of America. In a moment, Ben. Came Vasco da Gama around Africa. Came Amerigo Vespucci to America. In a moment, Ben. Came the Borgias. Came Michelangelo and the paintings of the Sistine Chapel. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came Balboa to the Pacific. Ah, lovely, lovely. Came Luther. Came Magellan. Came Cortez into the city of Mexico. Came the war of the peasants in Germany. Came Pizarro into Peru. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came Calvin from Paris. Came Mendoza to Buenos Aires. Came the founding of the Jesuits. Came De Soto to the Mississippi. In a moment, Ben. Lazy, lovely river. Came Copernicus. Came the reign of Elizabeth. John Knox came. Mary Stuart came. Came the massacre of St. Bartholomew. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. Came the building of the first theatre in England. Came the Cossack conquest of Siberia. Came the first colony of England beyond seas. Hail Britannia! Came the assassination of William of Orange. Came Virginia, in a moment, Ben. California, in a moment. Came Drake. Came the defeat of the Spanish Armada. Came Hamlet, who came of Shakespeare. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came Don Quixote. Came the discovery of Australia. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came Quebec. One city after another came. Henry Hudson came. Came Galileo and the telescope. Came the British into India. Came the Dutch into New York. Slaves into Virginia came. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Harlem in a moment. Bill Robinson tapping up the steps in a moment. How do you do, Mrs. Green? How do you do, Mrs. Brown? Came the Pilgrims into Plymouth. Came Bacon. Descartes came. Came the Puritans into Boston. Came Montreal. Said I, good morning, Montreal, said I. Cromwell into Ireland came. Came Moliere. Came the Great Plague into London. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. To London came the Great Fire. Came the discovery of gravitation. Deep within incipience, among a million faces and a million forms, to be and not to be, the male germ waited for the moment of America. Wagons west, the settling of my desert valley, the building of my city, the moment of people alive where only desert things had lived before. Good morning, Ben. I will see you in a moment, 200 years from now, 2,000 years from once. In eternity I will see you, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came 1683 and the last Turkish invasion of Europe. Came the English Revolution. Came Peter the Great. Came the siege of Londonderry and the Battle of the Boyne. The Bank of England came. Came Louisiana. St. Petersburg came. 723 came Bach. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. 1740 came the first modern novel. Said I. Good morning, said I. Voltaire came. Came Patrick Henry. Came the Boston Tea Party. In a moment, Ben. America in a moment. Came Goethe and Werther. Came Pestalozzi. Came the Battle of Lexington. Came the Battle of Bunker Hill. Came 1776, the signing of the American Declaration of Independence. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the siege and surrender of Yorktown. Came 1782 and the end of the American Revolution. Beginning now of thee I sing, my country. Came the first balloon ascension. Came the Constitution. Came the inauguration of Washington. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. The French Revolution came. Came the Negro Revolution in Haiti. Came the invention of the cotton gin. Came the execution of the 16th Louis. Came the murder of Marat. The Reign of Terror came. The downfall of Poland came. Came Napoleon. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the Louisiana Purchase, my country, of thee. The expedition of Lewis and Clark came, of thee, my country. The Battle of Trafalgar came. Came the Battle of Austerlitz. Came the steamboat. Brazil came. Came the revolution in Mexico. Came Bolivar the Liberator. Came the massacre of the Mamelukes. Came Napoleon into Russia. Came the Battle of Waterloo. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, I said. Florida came. Came the Greek War for Independence. Came Byron. Came the siege of Missolonghi. Came the massacre of the Janissaries. The Battle of Navarino came. Andrew Jackson came. Came 1829 and the beginning of railway locomotion. Myself beginning of thee I sing, my country. Came the taking of Algiers by the French. Came the Belgian Revolt. Came the Carlist Revolt in Spain. Came the Texas Revolution. Of thee I sing, of thee. Came the Canadian Rebellion. Came the invention of photography. Hollywood in a moment. Came the Opium War. Came the invention of the telegraph. Came 1846 and the acquisition of California. Good morning, Ben. You will be standing here in a moment. In the desert of California, you will be standing, Ben. Good morning, I said. Came the Mexican War. Came the Irish famine. The migrations of the Mormons came. Came the Revolution of February in France. Came the Revolt of Hungary. Came the discovery of gold in California. Came Livingston into Africa. What is the number of a man? It is the number of the beast, 666, and it is the number of the earth, and the number of time, and of thought, and of 1,000,000 deaths, and 1,000,000 births, and it is the number of himself. Came the battles of Magenta and Solferino. Darwin came. The kingdom of Italy came. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. "Mussolini in a moment." Came the emancipation of Russian serfs. Came the Battle of Bull Run. The capture of New Orleans came. Came the Battle of Gettysburg. Came the fall of Vicksburg. The destruction of Alabama came. Sherman came marching to the sea. Came the surrender of Lee. "My country, it is of thee I sing, of thee, of thee." Came the purchase of Alaska. Came the discovery of diamonds in Africa. "I can't give you anything but love, baby." Came the opening of the Suez Canal. Came the Pacific Railroad. In a moment, Ben. Broad, bright California, baby. Came the Battle of Sedan. Nihilism came. Came England into Egypt. Came the war between Greece and Turkey. Came the Battle of Manila Bay. The battles of Santiago came. Came 1900, the Boer War, the Boxer War, the beginning of the 20th century. My beginning. "Good morning, Ben, broad California, baby." "Good morning," I said. My father, an alien, walked through the streets of New York. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. The train shot forward, and he sat at the window, looking at America. The germ of my life leapt at his heart, and he said, "I will go where the sun is, and build a house there, and breathe my life." The steel rails drove through all the places of America, only love, baby, and came to California. My father stepped upon the earth and walked along a strange street in search of himself. He found a house and a way to live simply, and he brought the woman to him, and the germ leapt at his heart, and in the winter the germ emerged, cocky with joy, tipping his hat, leaping upon his opposite with passion, and the earth leveled itself for the germ, and the small city was there, and the mobs came rushing up into the germ, and it grew, and it was myself, and suddenly I knew it was, for I could remember, and I stood in the great warm valley of my beginning, laughing into the face of the sun, grateful to God for the inevitable miracle of being, alive, in motion, breathing. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said. Grateful to God, grateful to man, grateful to all who lived and all who died, grateful to the named and the nameless, grateful to everything, seen and unseen, the dream of life and the dream of life, myself at last alive, after the wars and the massacres and the migrations and the famines, after all history, a small boy in the sun, remembering, alive, holy, violent of it all, of the last moment and the first, by the grace and by the ungrace of God, by the grace and gracelessness of all things, at last of the earth, of the universe, at last in space, breathing, happily growing to death, came Ben. "Good morning, Ben." "Good morning," I said.